You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. The interior. The door to the. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains? Okay.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
Oh, I
don't
forgot
think
to
I
read the
could bear
text.
being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one. I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here.
I'm locking her in the
It's
basement.
a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here. You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
All this was just an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent or harmless. You're not even a princess. You're a
I
monster.
could be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yo, what's up, Swifty? Oh, she's spooky now? Oh, dude, you should have seen her earlier. She was fleshy. Like, seriously, like, fleshy. Everything was fleshy. It was nasty. Ooh. I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this happened already? Okay, no. But I died. What am I doing here? She's going to kill me again and proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
I know she got kind of scary, but obviously the demos never really got that deep into it. Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Okay. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad. You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Steel can't lie to us. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife? Could we have a bomb? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
We are actually a bird. Apparently. One of the previous princesses called us a little bird. So.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
How hard is it to throw a knife? I'm going to talk to her. We don't need a plan. I'm just going to kill her. Mr. Narrator seems to think I can do it. I don't know why you're all being pessimistic right now. Step off into the void between the stairs. Continue down the stairs in silence. I want to talk to her, or I want to step off into the void. Between these two. Which one would be more interesting? You know what? Off to the void.
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen?
Fuck.
Congratulations, you really
I was
lucked
curious.
out. Of all the things that could have happened from stepping into a void, nothing is quite possibly the best outcome you could have gotten. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Go left, go right, do nothing, go back the way you came. Go left.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Nerves. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Liver.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
Heart, lungs.
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
Nerves. She isn't attacking us. Lungs. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Nerves. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart,
Oh, there's a lot.
lungs.
Find you in, I'll leave you alone. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm not doing any of this. I'm not helping you leave. I'm not going to try to kill you. So do your worst. Stop the blade and remain with your nightmare. We don't have to be enemies. We could work together. We could be friends even. How do I'll just kill you instead. If we want to work together, can you at least turn off this whole organ shutting down situation? I know you're a lunatic, you know that, right? I was sent here to stop you from destroying the world. I can't just let you leave. What happened after you killed me last time? What good am I to you alive? What do you want from me? Why don't you finish me off?
Lungs, liver.
I'm not going to do any of
Are
this.
you serious? Liver. You fling the blade into the void, denying yourself the opportunity to ever slay her and finish your mission. Nobody's happy here, but maybe it's for the best.
You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out!
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out!
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out!
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out!
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out!
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out!
This is all too much. I can't keep going.
You can't keep going? What are you talking about?
But he doesn't respond.
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
Your body is dead, but you live on. The moment of clarity.
You're on a path in the...
Shit. What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing?
There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember.
You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you?
I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever. I think.
We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart?
We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us? To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love. Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us. This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
I think they're all wrong. That's a good question. How many times have you all been here? What if we don't go to the cabin? Can you make sense of them? I feel so disjointed. I don't know if we could pull this off. I don't know if I could slay her. Proceed to the cabin. There's only way to... The only way out is to do nothing. So, nothing I will do. Stay where you are. Yeah, we're just collecting everyone. That's a good question. How many times have we been here?
Many times. It feels like we've been here forever. It also feels like we've barely been here at all.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, we just have to do what she says and then everything will be fine. It won't. It will be for us. She said so. You're part of everything. If things aren't fine for everything, they won't be fine for you. There's no difference between fine and not fine, it just goes on and on.
But that doesn't make sense. I only remember being here twice before this, and some of you don't even seem to remember being here at all. Was I here those other times? Did someone else make those decisions? What if we don't go to the cabin?
What does here even mean if you really think about it? Shut up. You were here.
Every single time.
You did your best, really. There's just a pecking order. And our cruel and beautiful goddess sits atop it, right where she's always belonged.
You're lucky. What I would give to be able to forget. I've tried to keep them numb, but they're all too soft. A shame, really.
If I don't remember what I did, then it couldn't have been me that did it.
Don't think about that too hard. All it will do is weaken your resolve and make it that much harder for you to slay her.
Maybe you're shattered in your own way.
Are you your memories? Or are you the one perceiving the present moment? Ugh, here you go philosophizing again. It never goes anywhere. Yes, this is far from the first time you've asked us about consciousness. Who am I? What am I? What is I? Who even cares? They're good questions, great questions even, but they don't have any answers. And they all just end in quivering torment. It doesn't matter what we do, because we always find her, and if we don't find her, she always finds us.
And then she smashes us into smaller pieces. If you all just stopped feeling, we could have been done with this ages ago.
Your thoughts are far too scattered to rein back in. Your only option is to silence them.
I think they're all wrong. What if we don't go to the cabin?
Of course we're wrong.
She's the only thing that's right. Yes, obviously they're all wrong. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing worth making sense of. They're clearly all traumatized. And yet, you aren't. We break apart, and you stay the same. Yeah, what's your secret? Why can you break the rules when we can't? I don't care how you feel. You have to slay her. You have to pull yourself together. You have to snap out of it.
You're lucky you haven't been stuck here like the rest of them. There's no other way to keep going. You either need to forget, or you need to stop feeling much of anything. They can't do either.
He's not wrong. He's the only smart one left, if you ask me.
He's worse than her.
We've tried that. It doesn't work. Our hearts always brought us back to her. The deck is stacked. So many paths, and they're all circles.
The only way out is to do nothing, so nothing I will do.
You do nothing. You can't just do nothing. You have to do something. That's a new one. Huh. Do you think it'll work?
No.
Nothing ever works. Boo! You're the worst one. He's not the one who got us into this mess.
At least I keep you breathing around her. See? That's why the sad one's the worst. The jumpy one tries.
Who cares? All of you just yap about nothing.
And that kind of attitude is why you're in the top half.
Great.
And that's why you're not the top.
I want to see what nothing does for us. And right now all of you aren't letting nothing happen.
Hopefully this stuffs all the rest of them someplace quiet. You need me, and you need to not have them. He'll get you killed by himself.
Oh, all of us have gotten all the rest of us killed at one point or another. That's hardly even a concern now.
As the little voices bicker amongst themselves, you do your best to stay still in the woods. It is difficult, and the more time you spend waiting, the harder it will be to sharpen your focus when you need it. I wonder what we look like right now. Are we standing? Sitting? I like to think we have an air of dignity. My point exactly.
Continue to do nothing.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Fine. Proceed to the cabin.
You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there. Don't ask him about the mirror.
He always says he never sees it.
He always lies. And he always makes it gone. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. You know that as well as I do. She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose.
What's wrong with giving them space? What if it helps them? What if they need to be heard?
They've been heard too much. It's why they are the way they are. Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is drag you down to their level. You have to keep moving. Or you could just give up.
Approach the mirror!
You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin.
The cabin that isn't there.
You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it.
Smash it to pieces.
She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free. It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what.
Proceed.
Proceed? Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific. That's another new one. How do you keep coming up with new things? I hope this works better than nothing did. Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see? We're one step closer to her. The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure therein, wrong and unsettling as it may be. The only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. It's the only way forward.
You take it. You have to take the blade.
You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it shifts, the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep. Deep in the bowels of the earth, you see something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said that way back when. You know that, right?
Closer.
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could melt you.
And closer.
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
And closer.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take me away. And let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything. Now don't pose. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your power so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand.
I can't.
You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next. I didn't think I'd be so tired.
The princess, exhausted, slumps.
Why is it so cold?
You did not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. Almost. That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away just like her. Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now, aren't they? Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here.
Finally, we can smash it.
Oh, will you stop with the smashing?
What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
Yeah. I think I'd like that.
Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to give it a look.
You step towards the mirror once more. Its secret remains hidden. Its mystery remains unresolved.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad about it. I'm ready. It feels okay.
The fear's gone. I'm done fighting. My heart feels quiet. The game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here. Boys, it's been an honor.
So, the voices are parts of me that happens from the previous encounter. So, there was a previous encounter of me with a princess, and she, like, completely broke me. Broke my ribs, broke my entire body, and then I died. I came back, I had the hero voice, I had the narrator, and then I had the voice of the broken. Then, while the voice of the broken was there, I had another encounter where I was stubborn and kept trying to fight her. We ended up both dying, and the next time I respawned, I had a voice of the stubborn, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. So it's voices of what's happened to me. So what, like, from different opportunities or realities. Something already happened, and now I'm just in another reality, but that voice of the previous one is in my head now. I guess so. I'm not sure. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirrors always make them leave. The decay. You are withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. How can you stand being a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make it worse? What do you think of this vessel? I am still planning to kill you once this is done with. Do you know what happens when the worlds we leave behind? What happened? Have you figured out what you want? What you'll want when we're finished? Do you still not care what I bring you next? How many more vessels?
We will know when we near our destination. And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
How can you stand being a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. No, not really. It seems so distant as soon as I'm near you. I have no opinion one way or another on the matter. I just want it all to stop. Yes, you're torturing me. I hate you, and I think I hate you. No, not really. It just makes me like you more.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Have you figured out what you'll want when we've finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is a waiting maw, an inevitable destination where all roads end. She will make for a wise heart. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die.